Let's say you walk into the Lightning room. Coop says, Johnny, like, give some boys some like life lessons, career lessons. Now that your career has wrapped up, and you got to tell the guys something.
The younger guys, right?
Ugh.
The Connor Geekies of the world.
I think that it's shorter than what you think it will be. I mean, just feels like just yesterday that got into Tampa and stuff. So I think that would be the biggest thing is like it happened so quick.
Bolts Nation, welcome into another episode of the Bolts Block Party, powered by our awesome friends at High Lie IPA, Wolfie and Kobe, and we could not be more excited to get this gentleman on the podcast. It's probably been 4 or 5 years since he has been on. The legend that is Johnny Be Good, Tyler Johnson, joins us here on the podcast. TJ, it is so awesome to have you back here in Tampa, back in the building. Congratulations on the retirement. You surely do not look retired. You are jacked, my friend. But how amazing is it for you to be back here in the city once again, man?
Thanks. I can't believe it's been 4 or 5 years since I've been on this.
Yeah, it's been a while.
No, it's been super fun. I just got in this morning. Unfortunately, it's a quick trip, so I'm only here for the night and then leave tomorrow. But I wish I was here longer. I love this place.
Have obviously, I don't know the last time you were back in the city, but the changes all around the building, it's pretty, I'm sure it's like mesmerizing for you to look around and see all the changes.
I mean, the downtown's insane. I remember when we were here, Mr. Vinnick was talking about all the different things he wanted to do downtown. And now to be able to kind of see it come to life, I don't know if I actually envisioned it this way, but no, I love it. It's such a cool city. It's, always my second home. I really love it.
Are you like everyone else? Like, I just wish I would have, like, when I first got here, I wish I would have bought like 5 properties.
Yeah, right?
Like I'd be just rolling right now, Scrooge McDucking it around.
Oh, I remember looking on Davis Island for my first house and just the water prices, right? To be on the water was crazy,
yeah.
But now it's
Good luck.
I would love to take that. Yeah.
Tampa's been growing in leaps and bounds.
Yeah,
for sure,
cool.
Man. So obviously, you've surely left your mark on this organization, but for you, obviously, retiring last year, or actually this year, this past summer, was that a difficult decision for you? Obviously, a 13-year career in the NHL, over 400 points, 193 goals, 240 assists. I mean, from somebody who entered this league as, non-drafted to have such an amazing career, but again, having it recently come to a close, like what's kind of going through your mind right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always difficult leaving something behind that was such a big part of your life, but at the same time, I was kind of ready for it. I mean, I look back when I was, 18, 19, 20, before I signed, I had no idea what was going to be my life, and ended up being this. So, I'm pretty thankful for everything that's happened. I got a lot of good friends, a lot of good teammates, won some cups, able to get to know Kobe, so that's been fun.
Always a positive. Everyone's highlight. You don't have to lie.
No, I mean, I'm just so thankful for like what unfolded. I never thought that, this could have been something in my life. So for me to be able to actually do it and to be a partake and be able to have my family throughout everything's been unbelievable. So it's one of those things that it's bittersweet. It's something you always want to do, but at the same time, I'm very thankful that it's over. And now I see the guys go out there and, have that last exhibition game where they try to kill each other. And I'm like, it's probably my time, So it's one of those things where it's both sides.
Yeah,
Johnny, sure. I was looking up all your stuff, and I was like, how many fights did Johnny have in his career? You know how many fights you had? NHL career.
I had too many that they couldn't count them.
One poor soul had the pleasure to fight you in NHL. Torrey Krug.
Yeah, it was Bubble. I was really pissed off.
Yeah.
Take us back
Johnny,
to that.
Johnny just beat him up.
Yeah,
that's
just
not
tough
quite
guy.
what happened. No, he tomahawked me in the head.
Yeah.
And there was no call, so I was pissed off. And then we were kind of tussling, and then he just kind of threw down, and that was about the end of it. I actually probably had more that probably should have counted as fights compared to that one.
Right.
But
you led the league in double minors, double roughing minors.
I had a lot of those actually.
They're like, that wasn't a true fight. Right. Like Johnny's just
a lot of coincidentals. I'd take the guys to the box with me.
Take somebody with you.
Yeah, there you go.
Johnny, you mentioned you just kind of knowing it was time and kind of How do you come to that kind of realization that it was, maybe time to hang it up and move on to something else?
Well, I think it's tough. I mean, you always think like, oh, I could do it a little bit longer or whatever. But at the same time, I think for me, it was a bit of a transition in life. Ended up getting married last summer to my wife. We want to start a family. We want to start all these different things of, trying to kind of lay our foundation of where we're going to be and like what we want to do. And, being in this sport, especially a little bit later in life, you might be traveling every single year, going different places, doing different things. And I didn't really want to do that. And, I didn't want to have to worry about, oh, what happens if I get traded here? What happens if I go here? I wanted to kind of just have a normal life. And I think I've been long enough of traveling and doing different things that I like to settle down a little bit.
It gets tough kind of when you start that long-term contract kind of gets up and it's now you're here 1 minute and next minute you might be somewhere else. Mm-hmm. I totally get that. So since you've been retired, what's next for Tyler Johnson?
I don't know. Kind of helping with my friend's charity right now. I think that's a big theme for me is trying to give back. I mean, when I was a kid, let's be honest, like playing hockey is not a cheap sport by any means. And my parents used to have to work 4 or 5 different jobs throughout the year just to be able to support me. I was the only child. If I had a brother or sister, probably wouldn't have been able to do it. So for me, I've been trying to give back a little bit. We had a golf tournament back home trying to pay for some youth sports. I want to do some different things. So I'm working with Medea Charitable Foundation that partners with the NHL. We do a lot of different girls hockey activities, trying to grow the game a little bit. And I think that's a lot of fun for me. So I want to focus most of my time on that. I'm getting into a little bit of the business side of things, of networking, and Medea does some pharmaceuticals, drug sales to states and different things. So I've been kind of on that side, and it's been fun for me because I get to meet different people, which, playing hockey, you meet so many cool people. So it's been fun to kind of put everything together, and we'll see what happens throughout the next couple of years.
Do you get recognized in that world? Like, were you the Tyler Johnson that played for the Lightning? Like, I mean, it's a total 180 from professional sports.
I think what it is when people see me, they don't assume that, but then they're like, you're too short, too small. There's no way you play in the NHL.
Were you an actor at The Hobbit?
Right, yeah. Frodo. No, so I think it takes a little bit of time. Maybe they Google me a little bit, maybe see something, but usually it kind of helps, I guess. I mean, everyone likes sports, and being a part of the Lightning organization, we've done such a tremendous job of helping different communities and different things like that. So it's been really cool to be a part of.
Johnny told me the charity golf tournament that he's part of.
Yeah.
For every ball lost, a kid got a new pair of skates.
So it's
there were so many skates.
There would have been a lot of skates. You're right. I wish we would have done that. Right? That would have inspired. I need Bauer to help me out on that one.
Yeah,
they're listening. They're paying attention. Well, I mean, let's kind of like rewind a little bit. Obviously, you're coming into the retirement world, but I think it's probably awesome for us to kind of go back and recap some of the highlights because, like you said, you didn't quite foresee the career in the future that you had. Even starting at the beginning, obviously your parents met at a rec league hockey game. You wore skates before you could walk, and wasn't your mom the one who taught you how to skate, and you still didn't quite see the path at that age?
Well, I thought it was a path, but being in Spokane, Washington, I mean, it's a small city. I was playing against guys that, quite frankly, were never going to make it. You didn't have that competition that, living in the bigger cities you may have.
Okay.
I was thankful that my parents were able to take me to Vancouver, BC in the summer every weekend, and that's when I actually had my good competition. But yeah, I mean, you never really think anything's going to come of it. I was always hoping I was going to play in juniors and WHL.
Yep.
You get your college paid for, then after that, you never know what's going to happen.
Sure.
So it was on the way.
So WHL, which again, you had success there, but really Norfolk.
No, it was a lot of success in
Norfolk.
WHL.
You guys had a 28-game win streak while you were in Norfolk, which I think is still a Pro Hockey League record. I'm not sure if that's been broken since. And then obviously to the Spokane Chiefs, where your number 9 was retired just the second time in franchise history. When you look back to those days, to the WHL days, to Norfolk, and then obviously linking with Cooper into Syracuse, what stands out the most about those days of your playing career?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I don't know. I mean, So thankful that I was able to be on some good teams. Like when I was playing for the Chiefs, my first year I actually got cut from a USHL team. And I thought that was going to be, the team I was going to play for, where I was going to go. I was going to go to college, do all that thing. But ended up getting cut, ended up going play for the Chiefs. We won a Memorial Cup that year.
Which is his hometown.
Right.
Yeah.
Hometown.
I ended up
MVP?
I ended up getting WHL MVP for the playoffs that year. So I basically went from you're not good enough to play.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like that coach. You're like, that's the guy right there.
Right.
That's the idiot.
Yeah. So it was. So I mean, just going through that, and then ended up signing with Tampa my last year, juniors at 20.
Mm-hmm.
I literally sat my dad down and go, hey, I don't want to play as a 20-year-old. I want to go to college. I just want to. I wanted to be a nurse anesthetist, anesthesiology. That's kind of what I wanted to do. I was like, I don't want to be a 21-year-old freshman. I'm going to get made fun of. I'm stupid, old. I don't know. Like, I just want to be younger.
Sure.
So he turned pro and got made fun of anyway.
Well, and that's what happened. My dad was like, hey, you'll never have this opportunity again. Just play one more year. And, I did that, able to sign with Tampa. And then, that was kind of a lucky thing too, where I didn't know exactly who I was going to sign with. And it just kind of the last minute, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go with Tampa. I had a few other options, and I was lucky enough to pick the right one. And then we went to Norfolk, and 28 games. That's crazy.
Insane.
Yeah.
Johnny, so why Tampa though? Like you mentioned a few other teams. What was it about Tampa? Like Steve Yzerman was the general manager at the time. Why was it Tampa over, someone else?
Weren't you in the movies when you got the call from Steve or something?
So that was when I got called up.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So I was actually in Prince George when Steve called me to sign. And you've been to PG, right? Yeah. It's
It's up north. It's up north.
You're really far away.
Yeah.
Like I remember we were driving through PG, and your bus is so high, right? Well, the snow on the side of the road's higher than your bus.
That's insane.
It was wild, where we were at. And he called me up. Well, actually, my agent goes, hey, make sure your phone's ready. So I had that. And then all of a sudden he calls me and goes, hey, I'm Steve Yzerman. I was like,
oh my God.
Yeah, I know who you are.
Yeah.
So then we were talking for a little bit. And I thought the coolest thing is after we were done talking, he goes, hey, I want to call your dad. And so I gave him my dad's phone number. And 10 minutes later, my dad calls me. I've never seen him happier. He was so ecstatic. He's like,
amazing.
You'll never know who just called me. I go, I think I have a pretty good guess
you got
here.
his number. You're dad, right?
Yeah. So I just felt comfortable. He made me feel like if I was going to go down there, I was going to get an opportunity, and that's all you could really ask for. And that's all I really wanted is someone just to believe in me, someone to be able to give me a chance, and then I was going to try to do my best and see what happened.
So that's a big transition, though. You're living at home, playing for the Chiefs, sign this pro contract, you go to Norfolk, your first couple years pro. What kind of transition was that?
Yeah, it was way different, and I wasn't close. Going from Spokane to our first year, we're in Norfolk, Virginia, which is across the country, and definitely a different part of the country from what I was from. So, being there, like you said, I was living at home. I had home cooked meals, I had everything. So it kind of worked out perfectly, though. It was right across the street from the Scope Arena that we played at and practiced at, did everything. Was a brand new apartment complex. And in the AHL there in Norfolk, we had, I think, everybody but 4 guys living in that apartment complex.
Wow.
So we were able to have dinners, parties, whatever we wanted to do, just right next door, go down the hall.
Can you imagine being a neighbor and all of a sudden all these this whole hockey team of 20-something-year-old guys that are just winning hockey games, partying it up, having a great time.
It was one of the greatest years of my life. And I always say I loved it. I am so thankful I did it. I never want to do it again. I just don't want that again. But
well, Johnny, let me ask you though, was that maybe one of the things that made that group so special, is that you guys had that tight connection? And I'm just kind of putting it parallel to maybe some of the characteristics of the team here in Tampa. All the guys, they live for the most part fairly close to each other. Mm-hmm. Guys aren't spread out like other teams, but you think that had something to do with the success of the teams in Norfolk, maybe even in Tampa here?
For sure. You obviously know Coop is a big team guy, wants everyone to be together, and he was our coach down there, so he kind of made a big impact in that. But no, I think that is definitely a very, very big thing. Going from here to Chicago, where I was at, guys are, you're half an hour, 45 hour away. It's hard to get together. It's hard to do things. People are in little tiny condos, where in Tampa we have houses. You can have pool parties or whatever else. So I mean, it brings everyone together, and when everyone's together, when you're a family, when you're able to build that culture, it goes a long ways. And I think that's what Tampa's done a really, really good job of, is throughout the years, we've kind of built that culture, and it started with Mr. Vinnick, started with Coop, and then, you know, we had guys that kind of came up together at the same time, and then we had great pieces like yourself and Boyle and Strawman and Callahan, and I mean, you can go down the list. We had these guys that came in and just fit that culture and was able to just kind of build on everything. And I think when you're close, that makes everything so much easier.
And you were there. I mean, obviously, you know, going back to Norfolk, like Coop started, like was he right after you had gotten there, or like the same time? Like,
he was there a year before me.
Okay, and so you have seen obviously the evolution of Coop as well, from there to now with the Lightning. Talk a little bit about the evolution of Coach Cooper as well, from your perspective, from Norfolk to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, he's always been a good communicator. I think that's what makes Coop special for what he does. But I think at the very beginning, he was a little bit more hands-on. He, you know, kind of demanded the room, demanded, you know, certain things. He was, you know, pretty much like our leader in all senses. By, you know, the end of my career in Tampa here, I think we all learned so much, and we all kind of did everything together to where we had our leaders that really just led the team. I mean, we had, you know, Coburn, Stamkos, McDonough, you know, all these different guys, Callahan, that, you know, they're quote unquote like our coaches / leader. Like there was times where, you know, they would just say, hey, Coop, don't come in this period. We got this. Like we're going to straighten guys out, because we all knew what we had to do, and we were able to know that because Coop already instilled and taught us that in that culture. And so I think as the years got on, for me, Coop was more hands-on, maybe a little bit less hands-on as years went on, because he could feel the room, could kind of see how guys were reacting, guys were doing that. You know, you didn't need to be handheld the whole time. We had the team that, you know, just tell us where to go, and we're going to go and do it.
Facts.
What about your style of play, Johnny? Like how did that evolve from your style in juniors till Norfolk to becoming, you know, an NHL All-Star? Like, what kind of progression did that take for you? You know, a lot of guys, you know, they have all the success in juniors, and then they may have to tweak and change their game a little bit. Did you experience that at all?
Well, I mean, I think I did. I mean, if you talk to Coop, he says I did. But for me, I feel like I was just trying my hardest, and just kind of whatever happened. But Coop always says, he's like, yeah, the first couple of weeks in the AHL, he's like, I didn't know what to do with you. Like he wanted to get rid of me. So it was a little bit of a change of pace throughout that year. And then something finally just clicked. Actually, right before we won that 28 games in a row, I got reamed so hard, me and Conacher, that we were literally sitting in our stalls crying because Coop was just yelling at us so much. And then we come around and win 28 games in a row. I don't think I changed anything, but things just kind of clicked. So I have no idea. I mean, all I tried to do was just work as hard as I can and do whatever I needed to do to be able to succeed. I mean, if you wanted me to go play wing, if you wanted me to play center, if you want to play D, whatever it is, like I'm for it.
So a guy of your stature, size, 5'8", maybe.
Mm-hmm. You can go a little higher.
Let's go 5. Let's go 5'7".
What shoes he's wearing? Right?
5'10".
So to make it in the NHL, I feel like every guy that size has to have a chip on their shoulder. Did you have that chip?
Well, I think it was just competing is what it is. And I remember my dad told me at a very young age, is like, you better hit them before they hit you. Mm-hmm. So I kind of wanted to do that. It's like, I'd rather be the agitator than get picked on. So right. I kind of want to be that person. So that was a big thing. And then, with Coop, it made you even feel bigger as a player, just because he always said, like, if one guy's in, we're all in. Like, it's a wolf pack mentality. So
we haven't seen that. No. To the preseason, we haven't seen that.
Not at all.
But I mean, that's a culture thing, and it makes you just be able to relax and play however you want to play, to where I know that, if some guy comes at me, I can hit him in the face because I know I got Kobe on my back, and he's, going to help me out.
He's going to back you up. Right?
Whereas same thing, if Kobe wants to hit someone there, I'm going to be on his back, you know? maybe a little different, but I'm going
He'll
to
gnaw their ankles right off.
Hey, it all counts.
I love this guy, by the way. This is all good fun. The great thing about Johnny is you can always
chirp each other, man.
Oh my God,
that's what it's all about.
So, and it doesn't matter, whether it's been 5 years or 10 years or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's
just so easy.
That's what's great about your camaraderie, though. Like you said, with your teammates, to be able to have that connection and be able to do that with each other, I think that speaks volumes. That the 2014-15 year for you was literally like that breakout season, right? You had absolutely shredded the league, 29 goals, 43 assists, 72 points in 77 games. You finished third in the NHL in plus minus with a plus 33 that season. You were also, like Kobe said earlier, you were chosen for the 2014-15 All-Star game. But the line with you and Palat and Kucherov, the triplets, which became legendary with our fan base. We'll never forget the poster, the 80s poster with you guys on it with the ugly Christmas sweaters, absolute classic. But those three players together, you, Kucherov, Palat, known as triplets, what made you guys so electric together and made you guys like literally unstoppable? They used to say like it was almost like you guys were thinking for each other, like you would almost know what to do before it happened. What was the camaraderie and how did that all develop?
Well, I think for me and Pally, we played together in the AHL. We were the line, and we did really well. We had Richard Panik at the time, and then, we get to the NHL, and they were looking for someone to play with us. We played with Marty my first part of the rookie year, which Pally and I, we still talk to this day about how much we learned. We only played, 20 games with, or not even 20 games. It was like 10 games with them or whatever it was. But just the amount we learned from them was insane. And then we go into that next year. We needed someone to play with us. Cooch comes in, and I remember seeing Cooch in training camp, just the amount of skill that he had, just what he was doing. He was a little bit more soft-spoken, a little bit, kind of shy, didn't really want to like be around anyone, whatever.
We get it.
How Cooch is, right? It's a little different now, but no, he was just a guy that he wanted to learn and wanted to get better, and he had so much skill that when we were working together, we were constantly talking, constantly figuring things out. We watched video every single morning at breakfast. We used to have some computers in the room there, and we'd sit there and watch every single shift to watch, other teams and different things. And, we just kind of figured out this is how we wanted to play. This is how we wanted to work together, and it just worked out really well that, like you said, I always knew where one of those guys were going to be at, and it's just, you don't even have to think. And that was the best part of the game is like people would ask like, hey, what were you thinking on this play? I go, I don't know. I blacked out. Like I just made a play, and that just works that way. And that's when you play your best hockey.
Could you envision at that time Cooch like now leading the league and scoring for, I think it's three or four times. I think it's three.
I could. He's pretty freaking good. He's the things he can do with the puck and the way that he sees the ice. He doesn't really have to see you or know where you're at, but he just like somehow can tell or sense. Like he's so good about. I always said like if you were to just pause the game at any point, I bet he could tell you where every single guy on the ice is. Like he knows where everyone's at, and just because of that, it was nice for me that I knew that I didn't have to go out of my way to try to make sure that he sees me. I just go to the best spot and just sit there and wait for him to find me, because that's just how it works. And then Pally was the same way. Like we just worked so well together, knowing that we didn't need the extra help. We just knew that we just needed someone to be in the right spot for us.
Talk about that special connection, because I feel like when I think of you and Pally, I always think you guys had a very special relationship together.
Yeah. No, Pally's my best friend. Still is. We talk all the time. He's my favorite player.
Who's your favorite player?
Yeah, I got his jersey on my wall.
My wife is my favorite friend, but Pally's my favorite hockey player.
I mean, even my wife would probably be like, yeah, you'd rather go hang out with Pally, and I just, I would. Like, I love hanging out.
That's my boy,
even when we were on separate teams, we still went on vacations together, go to bye weeks, whatever it is. And we just got along so well together, and even his wife, Barcha, even in the AHL, like I still remember the very first night that I met her, we drank far too much, and we just basically hung out all night, and she didn't even know English, but by the end of the night, she just rambling random English words, and I knew exactly what she was talking about.
That's great.
So,
Those are the best nights.
Yeah. So, it's just great to be able to grow together like that. Like, I'm so thankful that we had the AHL to be able to build that relationship, continue into the NHL. I mean, when I got called up, I think we had 7 or 8 guys from the AHL all called up at the same time. So you're able to have that bond and that chemistry, and I think that's huge.
I feel like that team you guys had in Norfolk really kind of set the foundation for everything that's happened here in Tampa since.
100%.
You know, that group of guys really kind of started that initial success, kind of turned the corner. And man, it was just
like it was 2014
fun
15,
to watch and fun to be part of
for sure. I mean, and obviously then that kind of catapulted what has become a lineage of just successful. Literally, it was 2014, right? 2015, the finals we lose to Chicago, but then obviously we had the situation with Columbus that we don't talk about. But literally, like you can see, like you said, that progression from 2014. It's like you're climbing the mountain, you're starting to climb, and then you'd have these downfalls, but then you just kept pushing and pushing.
Honestly, I still bugs me to this day the finals in 2015, man. If you don't break your wrist. I feel like, you had such an outstanding playoff. Like, it was insane. And then it's just a bad break. I feel like I just play the what if game,
Yeah, 2015 in the playoffs, you became the first player in Lightning history to record 3 multi-goal games in a single playoff series. You tied Fedotenko for the Lightning single series goals record with 6. That whole season, again, like it blows my mind. Like you said, what could have been if he didn't get injured, but you can't look at it like that. But again, he
was on fire.
He was on fire, but culminating that whole buildup and looking again at the overall career, you spent 8+ seasons with the Bolts, and in all-time Bolts history, you're top 10 in goals, shorthanded goals, game-winning goals, playoff goals, and games. It's remarkable to think, again, only in 8 seasons here, and like that progression, that build, to have such an indelible imprint on this organization. That's gotta feel amazing for you, even to this day, to look back and go like, again, the progression of from where it started to where it ended. But you reached the pinnacle. I mean, you got back-to-back Stanley Cup champs, and but to go through all that adversity to literally be on the history books for the Tampa Bay Lightning forever, it's got to mean something.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Tampa's my home. I love this place. Like, when I got asked to come down here, it's no question. I'm on my way. So, no, I like I said, I'm so thankful for the opportunity that I got, being able to do what I did, being able to be with the guys I was with. I mean, I think that says it all. It's like I got so lucky for the teams that we had, that we grew up. I mean, we went from, I think my rookie year, not my rookie year, when I got called up, I guess. I think we were third to last or whatever in that lockout year. Mm-hmm. The year before, I think they were close to, they made playoffs, I guess, and they kind of had that run. But we were never like a quote-unquote like good contender, team, right, I suppose. And then from what we built it, from that on to where they're at now, where, I mean, every year, like, it's kind of cup or bust, right? I think it's pretty special.
Perennial contenders, for 100%.
Sure. The bubble, we haven't talked to you about your experience. We've talked to all these guys about their experience in the bubble and heard all different perspectives, from wasn't the best thing because, away from my family, to guys that absolutely loved being in the bubble because it completely immersed you in just the game and being around with the guys. But for your experience, like, what was that experience like for you? Was it difficult? Was it?
I mean, I hated it.
Okay.
I thought
it was different.
I thought it was horrible. Obviously we won, so that was great.
Right.
Being with the guys, it's awesome. It's so long being stuck in a hotel. I mean, for the first like week or 2 weeks, it was super fun. Like, everyone's so excited about it, and then at the end, it's depressing. I mean, I still joke around a little bit. It's kind of bad, but I always say, like, if I would have been Dallas in that situation and went all that way and lost, like, that would have been the
deflating,
worst thing in life.
Yeah.
Like, we got something from it, so I'm super thankful, happy for it, but no, I hated it. I mean, it's just being stuck in a room. I know it's not prison, but it kind of felt like that at least. Hopefully I never get into that, but I mean, there's times where we're stuck around the metal barrel with a fire thinking that was fun. And like, you look back and you're like, was it? Like,
but how good did you get at Call of Duty?
We did play a lot of Call of Duty,
right.
Which was great, but we could have also done that in our house. So,
true.
I don't know. Very thankful we were with a great group of guys too. Like, our team was unreal. Like, we were family, friends, so we had always something going on.
For sure.
So it made it better, but
the circumstances,
it could have been better. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, I'm curious about this. So you walk into the room tonight, right? Let's say you walk into the Lightning room. Coop says, Johnny, like, tell the boys, give some boys some like life lessons, career lessons. Now that your career has wrapped up, and you got to tell the guys something.
The younger guys, right?
Ugh.
The Connor Geekies of the world.
That's tough. I think that it's shorter than what you think it will be. I mean, I always say this too. I remember when we were 23, we were at Val Filppula's birthday party. He was turning 30. And I remember sitting with Pally and go, shoot, if we play while we're 30, like that's old, you know, like that's crazy. Like we did a good job.
Right.
And then now the other year I was 33 in Chicago and we had Bedard at 18. I go, God, I'm old. Like this is insane. Like it's so crazy how fast that is, right? Like it just feels like just yesterday that got into Tampa and stuff. So I think that would be the biggest thing is like it happens so quick.
So absorb it all, man.
Yeah.
Because it does go quick. What do you got? Any stories about Kobe? You got a good story about this guy?
None.
No, we haven't got a whole lot of Kobe stories.
Let's talk about your best Tampa stories.
Kobe got the cup taken from our party at my house, so that was fun.
Was that the one that they told him don't put it in the water?
I don't think they
Stanley
said,
Cup and chlorine doesn't really mix. I didn't know
he
this.
just jumped in right away. Like I don't even remember why.
We were playing beer pong,
Is that
and
what it
I
was?
think I won. And,
That was a celebration.
And that was it. Yeah, just
it's
take it
like,
in.
I don't know. There was a lot of bottled water going around, so it was
Sure it was.
Aquafina.
feeling good, really good.
No, I have a good one with Kobe actually.
Okay.
So we were in Philly. You remember this one? So Kobe gets hurt in like the first or second period. I think I got hurt too. I got dinged up. So we're in the room. And Kobe, I think it was your shoulder or something. And they're like, hey, you should just take it off. Like we were losing. It was like 6-1 or something stupid. And Kobe's like, I'm getting back in there. So he starts to do push-ups on the ground. He's like, it doesn't hurt. And he's doing push-ups in the locker room. And all of us are like, what is this guy doing right now?
That sounds 100% something you would do, bro. Like you're mentally trying to get yourself back in the game.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that.
Kobe's the ultimate competitor. He was serious. He was scary. He was on your team. Loved him.
Yeah.
Play against him.
You don't want
Scared me.
Big dude. He's like twice your size. I mean, I can see why you'd be scared.
Well, maybe not twice, but
well,
The thing I loved about Johnny is that he was it didn't matter who it was. Like you could always sit down with Johnny and have a conversation.
Yeah.
And you could disagree with Johnny. But it was always just a great conversation. It didn't matter what it was about. You could be on totally opposite spectrums of what you were arguing. And it was cordial, but it was like intense. But it was fun. You never felt like that guy's a dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just wasn't. It's just who he was. He was just a good guy.
Well, that speaks volumes for your relationship.
I'll tell you what I really think off the air.
Of course, man. All right, TJ, listen, we've taken up pretty much enough of your time, but before we get out of here, we do a segment called Highlight Hot Takes, thanks to our friends at Highlight. So these are just hot takes. We just want to get your opinion on some of these questions. So I'll shoot off the first one here. Speaking of, who's the one guy in the league that you never wanted to have to fight?
Fight?
Like if you oh God, I gotta fight this guy.
I'd probably say Tom Wilson. He was crazy.
He still is.
Yeah. Probably wouldn't want
too.
to fight him.
He's a good player, but we don't like him. He's not a fan favorite here.
So I was thinking about this for a while because I just kind of getting back to like maybe you'd like to bring up your points, but okay, you created this is let me set the table.
This is starting real good.
Like I said, I've been putting a lot of thought into this.
I'm really excited.
So Johnny, you've maybe committed a crime, right? You've maybe committed a crime.
Here we go.
You need a former teammate to represent you as your defense lawyer. Ooh. Who is representing you to keep you out of jail as your lawyer?
Ooh. Gosh, that's tough.
It can't be Coop either because
he's a lawyer, so that's perfect. Yeah, no. You know who I think would be good is either Callahan or Bishop.
Let's say Callie.
I think they'd be good ones. I know you want me to say you.
No, not me.
You would be good too, but I can't give that to you.
He had some great arguments with people, and really kind of like.
What I liked about like Callie and Bishop is that you could still talk to them about everything, but they got so heated so quickly that they were forcing their point on you, and I kind of like that. So, especially if you're a lawyer, like you need that, right?
Lawyer.
Yeah. So I think they'd be a good one for
like
it.
That.
That's a great answer.
Ben Bishop, Esquire. You know,
I love it.
There we go.
All right, final hot take, and this is one that's kind of current. What are your thoughts on scrapping the NHL wild card format for playoffs and bringing back the 1 through 8 seeding? Because stars like Cal McCarr are vocal. It rewards division winners and cuts down the travels. Purists agree that it streamlines chaos. Traditionalists say wild card adds drama. What do you think about the current system, and would you change it?
Well, I can see a point for everything.
Yep.
I like it because it does build that rivalries because we're always playing against the same teams. However, it was annoying because you always had to play against the same teams. So if it was up to me, I would change it. I would do 1 versus 8. If I wanted to be crazy with it, I think the idea that the top teams would get to choose who they want to play, I think that would be very cool. And I think that would create a lot of rivalry as well, just because, you know, maybe you're the 4th place team, but that 1st place picked you. Like, what's that going to happen?
Man, that'd be a lot of fuel in the fire, though.
Wow.
Imagine being like, they picked us.
But
like,
That's awesome.
I mean, I think that would be fun. And looking at it, like, throughout, you know, our years, like, obviously Columbus, that was a very tough one for us.
Yeah,
but
for all of us.
At the same time, it's like they also were an 8 seed that bought 5 guys at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
They weren't an 8 seed. Like, we knew going in they were going to be a good team.
Right.
So it looks worse than what it was, to where I guarantee, like, for us, we wouldn't have chosen them. There's probably 6 other teams we would have chose first, you know? So I don't know. I think it would be fun to kind of play that game of who do you want to play? What kind of upsets are we going to make from that? And some teams play better against different ones. So, you know, I think it would be kind of fun.
There we go. He's NHL competition committee. We'll sign him up.
Can we please sign him up?
Yeah.
That's a great answer. Tyler Johnson, Johnny Be Good. So awesome to have you here on the Bolts Block Party. I know our fans are, obviously we're recording this. They're not going to know the surprise tonight, but that he's here. So we're so glad to have you back in Tampa, and hopefully it's not the last time. Hopefully we'll see you around here a little bit more, but thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Yeah, anytime. I'd love to come.
Appreciate it. And, of course, thanks to our friends at Highlight IPA for powering the Bolts Block Party, Wolfie and Kobe. We will see you guys next week.